Are we here? Is anybody here? Am I alone? This is my first time doing this. So we're going to wing it. If anybody's here, it looks. Wait a minute. It says there's 9 people here. All right. Should I wear my sunglasses? Everybody's used to me wearing my sunglasses. How's that? Kind of dark in here. Good evening, Miss Delivering with Ellen. How you doing, Ellen? Roy will be Roy. Hey, we got some big folks in here. Roger, the Twinnies, Roger Rodeo, Yellow. I don't know. I don't. Okay. One clue. If you've noticed, now here's something. I said this is going to be. I was going to kind of tell you all about myself. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Am I coming through okay? Is it a thumbs up or thumbs down or? Can everybody hear? Yeah, I wear my sunglasses at night too. If y'all okay, apparently y'all can hear me. So one thing that you're gonna notice, and I've had it since I was young, and I actually put my eye out when I was 3 years old. So this eye right here is a fake eye, but don't pity me any because I've been blind in it since I was 3 years old. Stuck a knife in it. So it is what it is. Makes me a better shot though. Anyway, if you see me looking here and there like this, that's what's up. So I'm fishing right now. You're fishing right now. Are you catching anything? For my gig? Hey, hello, Mr. Drone Days. Couldn't tell the difference. Really? Well, I gave away a secret then. So it's all good though. It is what it is. The people I feel bad for is the people that have accidents when they get older. So that's different. How do y'all like the lights? Does those look pretty cool? I actually went to Walmart. I had some, but I went to plug them in and they didn't work. They kind of been in storage for a little while. So maybe the heat got to them. I'm not real sure. Just soaking bait. Crappie should be biting. I'm going not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. Hopefully catch some crappie because I'm ready for some fresh fish. If y'all have never ate crappie, for the northern people, I've heard it compares to walleye. And for us southern folks, oh, thank you, Nico. I appreciate it. Is it Nico or Nico? Either way, it sounds pretty cool. I like the name. You had a question. Oh, where did I put that? You had a question. I remember seeing it. Y'all bear with me. I should have already had this. I did have it pulled up, but I rebooted the computer because I lost audio. I have a Rogue mini mic that I use with my DSLR, but it for some reason it wouldn't connect. So it is what it is, and here we is. That's for my question is for you is why you enjoy gig work. Why I enjoy gig work? There is one main reason, and that's flexibility. You call that a tweet? Oh, that's cool. You call that a tweet? I've never tried that Twitter. Never tried it. But anyway, before I get too far off of what I was going to do, I want to say hi to y'all and thank y'all for joining. got 17 people in here. That's pretty cool. Steve said that he would be here, and my gig said he'd be here, and a couple of more said they'd be here. So I was hoping at least somebody would be here. At least I wouldn't be talking to myself, which I sometimes do that too. I did work at a state hospital, and that's one of the things about me is I worked out at a state hospital for a few years, and I had a girl one time. She had in the day room this big plate glass, and you can see your reflection in it at night. And she would just sit there and have the longest conversations, and she would ask me, um, I'll get to that in a moment, Ellen. Well, I mean, no, yeah. Anyway, hang on. Hold on. Okay, yeah. That somebody actually asked that one, Nico, and I'm going to answer that in just a minute. But I worked at a state hospital, and the girl would sit there and have a conversation with herself, and she asked me if that made her crazy. And I said, no, it really doesn't make you crazy. The thing of it is, you try to do it when nobody's around. So, I think everybody kind of has a little thoughts to herself. A lot of problems can be cured just by having a little conversation with yourself. Does that make me crazy? Maybe. But it is what it is. I had, let's see. Okay. I took some notes. I wrote it down. And it's not that this is about me, but I am from Wichita Falls, Texas. Been here all my life. Born, matter of fact, I've got a birthday in 3 days. I'll be 57. Born in 65. I think that's right. Anyway, and the population here is 105,664. Wichita Falls has a long history of cattle and oil town, but today its arts and culture scene are the star of the show. I don't know where they get that one, but that's what they said. But oh wow! Oh, Pedro is in the house. How you doing, Pedro? How do you? Wow, I didn't know I could. Can I do that? I didn't know you could. I thought you had to have a bunch of subscribers to get money like that. That's cool. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That almost paid for these little blue lights right there. That is cool. Oh, well, thank you, Ellen. And Ellen, to answer your question, how long have I been married? Well, we're going to step back a ways. And my kid's mother, she had a motorcycle accident in 2001. And we had been together for about 15 years, and I think married for about 13 years. No, we were married nearly 15 years. So we was together like 18 years, I think. Something like that. Anyway, she passed away. And my kids were 8 and 11 when that happened. That's a tough one. I'm sure some people has had to. Adam, I appreciate that. Thank you. A super sticker. I'm not real sure what that is, but it's cool. And thank you, Steve, Mr. Rideshare Rodeo. Appreciate that. And got 4 years on you. Well, I'm catching up real quick, especially early in the morning. I'm probably way past you early in the morning. I get stiff in my foot. I don't know. Anyway, my kids was 8 and 11, and I was married for nearly 15 years. And, had to, life happens. It don't always go as planned, but you live and learn and adjust and adapt and overcome and move on. You never forget, but you move on. And that's my last marriage. Matter of fact, anniversary is coming up, and it would be 3 years. But we kind of giving each other some space. I'm just going to go with that for right now. We separated, I guess is what you call it. But anyway, it is what it is. And I think it's amicable, I believe is the right word. There's no hostility towards each other or anything. Well, thank you, T-Ron. T-Ron. You play golf? That's what I think about when I hear the sun is setting. Hope it's a big at cat bites this could. That I know most people are not interested, but what kind of cut bait do you use? Pull my gig. You know, a lot of people use carp. This is not going to be a fishing video. This one's kind of be about me, but something like that. That strikes my interest. By the way, I do have another channel. If anybody's interested, when I do go fishing, that video will probably be on that channel, but I'll put a link to it on this channel. It's Dirty Shoes Adventures. We have a lake here. Probably going to go to Possum Kingdom. It's by Graham, Texas. Beautiful lake. Really part of the Brazos River. So bluegill, yeah. They say perch is the catfish candy. I've caught a lot of catfish on it. That's for sure. I'm going to lose track. I can see already. I ramble a lot, and I lose track of what I was thinking about. Okay, we covered my age and answered your question, I think, Ellen. I hope so. I tried fishing once. I had to throw them back in because I felt so bad. Well, I guess it depends on how much you like fish to eat. If they're little ones, let them grow back and they'll grow up. You have a brother in Graham. That's cool. There's a nice little lake in Graham too. But I fished it once, but most of the time I just go out to PK or Possum Kingdom. We call it PK. What got you started in gig work? That's a good question. And actually, I think that was a question on here too. So I may wind up answering the same question twice. And if I do, sorry. So I'm going to answer that question real quick. What got me started was, like I said a while ago, I worked out at the state hospital and something happened. I didn't get pushed down the stairs. Yes, I do have grandkids. I have 5 by blood, and then I have several, I guess you would call them step grandkids, but I consider them my grandkids. I do. They mean a lot to me. I don't always act like it, but they do. Love to eat fish, yeah, but don't like to kill them. Well, I guess I get that. A lot of people like to eat them. They don't mind catching them. They just don't want to clean them. What got me into the gig work is I worked at the state hospital and something happened and I took a tumble down the stairs, and that's a long flight of stairs. And all I remember is flipping end over end. When you get my age, you don't bounce like you did when you was 8, 9 years old. But I survived, but I kind of screwed up my shoulders. So they put me on what do you call it? Workman's compensation, and I couldn't work. Well, as it turned out, I ran out of time, and I guess Texas can terminate your employment. Even the state of Texas can terminate your employment without any reason. And they terminated me because I ran out of time, but I ran out of time because they wouldn't let me come back to work. So it was catch-22, one of those danged if you do and danged if you don't deals. But anyway, I worked at the police department shortly after that as a dispatch, and I started doing this Uber Eats. I started doing that one first, and I kind of got to where I liked it. And I was going to go back out to the state because after you're off so long, and then I got my medical discharge, so I could go back. And anyway, I started doing Uber Eats, and then I got joined up with Grubhub, and it was paying pretty good right when you start. Most people, It's kind of like going to the casino, and Pedro can probably agree with this. A lot of times you get people that go to the casino and man, they win right off the bat. But the longer you go, the less you win because they pull you in. And that's kind of what these apps did. They kind of pulled me in. And then they kind of got to where they wasn't paying quite as good. But I really enjoyed the flexibility. That's the main thing I enjoyed about the job is state school dispatch is a demand. Oh yeah, it really is a demanding because it was in a small town. We had the fire department and the police department, and of course, it was outside of Wichita Falls. So sometimes we had the dispatch to the volunteer fire departments in the county in the surrounding area. So you had a lot. Kudos to anybody that works in the 911 office, and it's a lot of work. They deserve a pat on the back. That's for sure. They deserve a lot more money than they make. I can tell you that one. But anyway, I just started doing the gig work, and I really enjoyed the flexibility, and the job paid just as good as working at the state hospital here in North Texas State Hospital. You just don't have the benefits that you did with the state. But it's all good. And the flexibility makes it worth it. And what about 9, 10 more years? I'll be able to draw Social Security. And as long as I can dash and dance and prance, I'm going to keep on keeping on and make, as Gig Mom says, making that money, honey. But anyway, I'm trying to watch this, but if I wake up excited, never mind. We'll discuss that one on your channel, Roy. Question. Okay, here's some questions that came in on the previous video. What did you do before gig work? I was a PNA at the state hospital. I don't know if anybody asked that, but it's a psychiatric nursing assistant. Kind of a glorified babysitter, if you will. You got to talk to people and just check their blood pressure and things like that, and help them get their medication, help them get to bed, and just be their friend. A lot of people think that people at the state hospital, something's wrong with them, and yeah, there is something wrong with them, but I think there's a little bit of something wrong with everybody. It's just the extent of what's wrong with you. And they're people too, no matter what. If I can follow up to my question in the earlier videos, do any of the delivery apps cover car? Okay, I remember that question. Car insurance while you're driving. Supposedly, Uber Eats, and I believe DoorDash does as well. I know Uber Eats, while you are on an active delivery, they're supposed to cover any accidents. The catch is, if you do go that route, then and your insurance company finds out about it. My insurance company, when I filled out the paperwork, because I switched insurance companies, it asked if I did rideshare. Technically, no, I don't do rideshare, so no, I don't do rideshare. But usually, you're going to probably be, and you do as you will. Whatever you think's best. But I would just, accidents happen. I would just use my car insurance and go on and not even deal with Uber or DoorDash or any of the rest of them. Son's bike just came in. That's cool. What kind of bike is it? Is it like a mountain bike, Ellen? Do I have any? Well, yeah. Okay. I can get your question right there, Nico. Did I freeze up? The chat didn't. Oh, there it went. Oh, a BMX bike. That's cool. I've got a few scars, probably a couple on my head, and As soon as I finish going bald, I'll know. You know, back in the 70s, we didn't wear helmets. Probably should have. Maybe I wouldn't be as wacky as what I am now. Anyhow, yeah, knee pads, elbow pads, and helmets. I guess it depends on the extent of how high your ramp is going to be. We used to get milk crates with plywood, and then we kind of graduated to trash cans. That's when it really starts getting painful. Anyway, how many hats do you have? I've got right here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm right 66. And my Adidas. Oh, I got one on my head, don't I? And a camo hat, and another camo hat, and a ugly stick camo hat. For you fishermen, you'll know what ugly stick is. It's a fishing pole. Good one too, especially for the money. I used to have I don't know if y'all know how big a banana box is, but I had it lined up with hats. But I had a house fire a few years ago, and they were up in the attic, and it was a complete loss. It was all gone. I probably at one time probably had 60, maybe 70 hats. Oh, and I do have a cowboy hat too. You know, you live in Texas, you got to have a cowboy hat, right? Do you go hunting? I used to go dove hunting a lot, and then of course varmint hunting, rabbit hunting. I grew up shooting 22s and stuff like that, rabbit hunting, squirrel hunting. But over the last few years, I really haven't been. I'm not against it at all. I just haven't been. I've never been deer hunting though. I do like to eat deer though, but I've just never gotten actually to go officially deer hunting. I've been hunting where there were deer, but not with like a deer rifle and a deer stand and all that. Uh, one of the dogs is a boxer. I'm not real sure what the other one is. Hey, Oklahoma gig work. Those clouds moving up towards Oklahoma. It looked like it was going to rain all day here, but it didn't do it. But let me cover a couple of questions right here, and then we'll get back into this live chat. Isn't that how Pedro says it? We'll cover this, and then we'll get back into the live chat because I don't want to miss anything. But you know, I want to cover these questions. They said I usually don't do the afternoons. I'd like to know what got you doing gig work. I answered that one. What other apps do you use? And I think Nico asked that one a while ago. And what's your daily goal and how many hours you go to hit your goals? Okay, I'm going to read this. After leaving the state hospital, I had a short time work at the police dispatch. I already did all that. My number one, and the only reason why I'm putting it at number one is not because it's a great app. It's because I leave it running 24/7, and that's Roadie. Mostly it's Best Buy deliveries here and a few pharmaceutical deliveries from a local grocery store that's 24 hours a day. And those at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning can pay pretty good, like $35 to $50 for a well, it would be 6 miles from there to there and back to there. So 6 mile round trip. And that's one thing y'all always count. Don't count one way, count both ways, because unless you're going that way and you're going to stay that way, because you got to cover your mileage coming back. And my number two, this is another question. Do I have any? Somebody asked a while ago if I had any apps that's besides food. My number two app is Spark, Walmart Spark. That one, I really like that one. I like the shop and delivery mostly. But number three, I would say Uber Eats. Number four, Grubhub. Number five, Skipkart. Number six, Bite Squad, which slash is now Waiter. Actually, I think it originally started off as Waiter, and Waiter owned Bite Squad, but I guess they're phasing out Bite Squad again or something. I'm not real sure. Anyway, it's Waiter now. And then like number seven, I know a bunch of y'all do DoorDash, but DoorDash is actually my number seven. But then I have Instacart and Favor, but I haven't done Instacart and Favor in a long time. And from watching Pedro's videos, it may be a while before I do Instacart again anyway. I don't know. I always get messed up, With Walmart Spark on the shop and deliver orders, Gladden now, Southwest Missouri. I thought it was going to be spring and summertime, but the last couple of nights and couple of days, it's been kind of cool. Not cold, but cool. Lost what I was trying to say. But, yeah, Walmart Spark. It gives you the aisle number and the section number. I never knew they had section numbers, but next time y'all are in Walmart, look up on the very top shelf in each little section, and it has a number there, and that's the section number. And on the Walmart shopping app, when you get the Spark app, it will show you the aisle number and the section number. That's pretty cool. I like that. How you doing, Miss Mary Davidson? Mosquitoes are going to run me out of here. Luckily, I haven't seen any mosquitoes up here yet, but y'all have a lot more humidity, and y'all have probably been a little warmer than we have here lately. What's different, Pedro? Oh, yeah, curry. Isn't that? I think that's one you recommended me to do, Steve. But I signed up for it, but it still says I'm on the waiting list. Okay, another question on here was from a Patrick. I'm a Spark noob and was curious what your experience has been with the large batch orders. For example, I've seen some offers for $35 for 30 miles and 10 orders. Are those types worth it? Thing of it is, if you know your area, know your neighborhoods, not just your stores, but know your neighborhoods and know what street's close to what street, it can be beneficial, but a lot of times you'll have to drive 2 or 3 miles over here, 2 or 3 miles over there. And they kind of get you in order, the flow is right. But if you're spending an hour and a half sometimes, and maybe 2 hours, depends on your traffic and everything else, for that $35, the money's good. We'll get into my daily goals. I didn't answer that a while ago, did I? But anyway, I'll go back to that. But you'll get to your daily goal quicker. But think about how many orders you're missing when you're tied up delivering all those other ones. I normally don't take them. I have taken them when it's like 6 or 7, but I've seen them up to 15 deliveries on one. I mean, you just have to go to Walmart once and pick all of them up, and they're all individually wrapped. They're all individually labeled. I was worried about getting them mixed up. You're really not going to get them mixed up. You just might have to dig through them a little bit to see who. Kind of like Christmas. At Christmas time, when you got all the presents and everybody's name tags on them, you kind of got to dig through to see whose is whose. But I don't personally think it's worth it, but that's just me. I'd rather do 4 or 5 different orders and make 60 or 70 bucks than one order and make 35 bucks in that 2-hour time period. I'd sign up for Roadie if I was you, Ellen. I mean, just leave it running. And of course, in your area, you're in a big city, so it might be a lot busier. But here, it's not that busy. We've got, like I said, one grocery store and, and your mileage back. One grocery store and Best Buy. And that's the only 2 that I've actually picked Roadie items up at, orders. Back up to that previous question. As far as my goals go, I usually shoot for about 125 a day, but we all know how that goes. You may have days where you're lucky to get 60 or 70 bucks. I mean, it happens. But then you're going to have days where you might hit 200. I'm sure Bud Soda, I'm sure I know from what he says, he surpasses that quite a bit. That dude works a lot, though. He's a lot younger than me. Maybe he's got more energy, I guess, because I don't want to work that much. I mean, I like working. And that's the thing about these jobs. If you, most of everybody on here is probably doesn't. Yeah, they do kind of suck. The batch orders from Walmart. I don't. That's just me. But anyway, forgot where I was at. But yeah, about 125 is usually what I shoot for. You're going to hit it some days, and some days you're going to hit over. And I look at it, if you can pay your bills and eat and not have to starve and not do without I got to do without a few things, but if you can survive without killing yourself and working 24/7, go that route. If you have goals and you want to make $1 million in the next 5 years, I understand that. But don't get so wrapped up in it that you forget about life. Go out, go fishing, go out to the park. I've said that in a lot of videos. Get out there and enjoy it. Life is short. It'll flash before your eyes and be gone. Okay. Brian asked, I'm curious about the steps and effort to get monetized. If I actually upload all the videos I've made, I'm sure I'd already be there. Okay, you have to have 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours, and honestly, it really doesn't matter how many videos you have. It's how many people watch them, and if they enjoy them, if they subscribe. I had one guy said people watch the video for the content and they subscribe for the content creator, and I like that. I think that's pretty true, because I went to different sites. When I'd be doing something with the car, I'd Google something, or not Google it, but look it up on YouTube, and I get my information. And there's a couple of them that I kind of like the personality and the way they, you probably had a school teacher in school that could explain things where they made sense, both teachers are teaching the same thing, just one's got one way of doing it, one's got another way of doing it. And I like their personality, so I've subscribed to them. So get your subs matter. That's what gets you monetized. And thanks to Mr. Pedro and Pull My Gig and a few others, I was able to get there. And of course, my Dirty Shoes Adventure's not there, and that was a lot of fun. But apparently, this is making you money, and that other is just fishing and hiking and camping and whatnot. But I'm going to read because I kind of wrote the answer down. You have to have 1,000 subs, 4,000 watch hours, and it really doesn't matter how many videos you have if people don't watch them. Always try to take the first 10 seconds or so to get their interest. Most people will click off and move on very quickly if you don't capture their attention. And they call that hooking the audience. And that's true. If I click on a video and it's like, you can fall asleep in the first 15 seconds, most of the time I'm going to go away. And the biggest thing is do it because you enjoy doing it. If you're doing it to make money, I mean, that's all well and good, but it's going to be a struggle, and it's going to be a battle, and it's going to be just like a 9-to-5 high pressure job. Do it because you enjoy it. I enjoy the editing. I enjoy the video. I enjoy everything about it. I've always enjoyed taking pictures and doing stuff like that. So whatever you're doing, whether it's YouTube, DoorDash, whatever you're doing, if you're a carpenter, do it because you enjoy it. I mean, the money, you definitely need the money, but you got to enjoy it. Nothing in life is worth doing if you don't enjoy it. We all have to do that sometimes, but And there was your question there, Nico, and we already answered that one. So I think that covered just the questions that I saw. Driven Dad, how you doing? Matt Hardwick, thank you. Good points. Which apps are good if you enjoy long trips? Man, I had an app. Oh, I'll have to look into that one. There is one app that you can. You want to take long trips? I've seen some. Well, if you look at a map and see where Wichita Falls is in San Antonio, Texas, that's quite a drive. But there's been orders, or most of them's delivering pets and stuff. Actually, I think somebody I watched is one that told me about it, or I saw it on their video. But anyway, it was going from San Antonio to like somewhere up in Illinois, delivering a dog. And those are some long distance trips. They pay good though. I've seen them $600-$700, but it's great if you're gonna be going on a vacation. And one of these days, I'd like to get an RV, either a trailer or a regular motor home, and travel. And if you're doing something like that, you pay for your gas, So yeah, can't remember who that was that was talking about that. Thumbs up, I guess. LOL. I can't read what that says. I'm finding that getting a rhythm in YouTube is helping. What, build your channel? Well, hello, Miss Emily. Citizenshipper. It's yeah. I think that was it. Citizenshipper. I think that's that one that does go. Well, I'm sure it is. And I never did do it, but I was looking for something that was going from like Wichita Falls to Houston or Dallas or something, not 6 to 1,200 miles. Yeah, because most everything I saw there was pet delivery. I did see some art one time. It must have been some high-dollar art because it paid good, like $2,000. So, and man, could you imagine the liability though? And I had read somewhere that some people, it was one thing you might want to consider if you're doing that. And I don't know how true it is. It's just something I saw in a video. Take it with a grain of salt. But sometimes people would have these higher priced dogs and they would hire a company to deliver that dog, knowing that dog wouldn't make the trip. But then they would turn around and sue the company and the driver because the dog died on their watch. Now, I don't know how true that is, but it would definitely be something to consider. I lived in Austin for 3 years. Texas is better than I thought. Austin, I haven't been down there in a long time, but it's beautiful down there. I like from Austin over to San Antonio, New Braunfels. Man, that's beautiful. Texas Hill Country. One thing about Texas, you can go west and be like in a desert, and you can go east and be in the forest, and you can go south and be in the hill country. Pretty much got it all right here. But I think the other day I think it was on Pedro's video for my gig. We was talking about how far it was from Wichita Falls to St. Louis, and it was closer than it was, I think, from Houston to Wichita Falls. That's crazy because you're crossing two states to get there. Technically, I lived in Kyle Hayes County, where people aren't so liberal. I've heard of Hayes County. You know, a lot of these counties I've heard of because I worked at the state hospital, and they'll send us, especially Tarrant County. There's a lot of people that come from Tarrant County. Apparently, that's a pretty stressful area. Miss visiting Texas, born in Dallas. I'm about 120 miles northeast or northwest of Dallas. It's just down the road, down 287. I got kin folks that live in Plano and Garland. Can't remember, but yeah, I've spent a little time down there. I get lost in Dallas and Fort Worth. I do okay in Grand Prairie and Arlington and Grapevine. Yeah, Grapevine's got a nice pro bass shop if y'all ever get over there. Of course, Pedro, he's got the big Bass Pro Shop fairly close to where he's at. Lived in Garland. Well, yeah, I know where Garland is. Is that kind of like living in Useless? That's what people say about Euless, which is down there. And I heard them saying it was useless. Houston, Dallas, Joe, I'm kidding. I live on the Gulf Coast of Texas, down around Corpus or Beaumont, maybe. Been a Grapevine Bass Pro Shop. It's a nice one. It's been a few years since I've been down there. I got to stay at that Gaylord Hotel. If you've been there, you've probably seen that Gaylord Hotel. It was right after they opened. That's a high dollar place now, from what my understanding is. But it was nice. Good place to eat barbecues right down the road from there too. I don't remember the name of it, but it was good. San Antonio, Yellow Rose, Texas. My cousins live in San Antonio. Actually, I have a few cousins, but the oldest brother of that family is supposed to be some big real estate guy down there. And supposedly, I've never been down to their house, but it's supposed to be a big, nice house in the backyard. Back when his kids were smaller, they had a playhouse out back that was bigger than a lot of houses that I've been in. So apparently, real estate's pretty lucrative around the San Antonio area. One thing I noticed about like going to Corpus is it's really pretty north of San Antonio, but when you drop on the south side of San Antonio, man, that's a difference between day and night. And I'm not going to say one way or the other, but it's a difference between day and night. You probably know exactly what I'm saying. Getting my spark shop and delivery done now. I do good on those most of the time. I don't take the big orders. It just seems like it takes me too long. Sometimes, and we have one Walmart here, and they're remodeling the store. It's actually going to be part retail and part distribution center. So they're rearranging it all. But I usually try to keep my shopping stuff, the ones I accept, around 20 items or less, because you can go in there and grab it and be gone. And I love those with 2 or 3 items, because sometimes those are 20, 25 bucks. But my understanding is with the Walmart Plus card, you get free delivery. So can't blame them. And in all honesty, it's probably cheaper to use the Walmart Spark app, because you're not going to be buying stuff that you didn't plan on buying. 3 20 packs of Gatorade for $36. There you go. That's you can't beat that. You know, those 250 DoorDash orders ain't nothing compared to those. Grandpa, we love your great videos. I appreciate it. I enjoy doing them, and I enjoy people watching and commenting. Makes me feel good. Like I'm I'm not him. Well, everybody's important, but it kind of makes you feel good when people watch your stuff and they comment about it, take notice. So yeah, that was a good order. Definitely. If I've missed any questions or anything, y'all put them back in there. Don't worry about spamming. And I don't know how to do um what the little hammer thing for the moderators. I don't know anything about any of that, but we're all adults, and I don't see anything. I haven't seen anything that's bad. Of course, I'm not 20,000 subscribers either, Pedro. So you know, you got a whole lot of different kinds of folks when you get that many people. So has anybody got any questions or anything? Um, I mean, I think I was a minute or two late, wasn't I? I thought I had it figured out, but I went to, like I said, I went to use my mic and it wouldn't work. And then all of a sudden, the mic on I'm using my phone because I couldn't get my DSLR. I've got a Canon EOS R that's, I'm going to have to send it in and get it worked on. How do you manage all the Spark and DoorDash with a family? Um, you have to. Well, thank you, Mr. Steve. I appreciate that. That's one thing y'all need to consider, especially if you've got younger kids, is consider the time that you spend working, whether it's doing this or a 9 to 5 or whatever. You know, you need to spend some time with your family, and because at the end of the day, they're the ones that you're doing it for. You're doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for your family. And take care of people if you can. But yeah, you just it's life. You juggle it. You make it work. If it doesn't work, find a way to make it work because it will eventually. What camera are you using to stream? Actually, I'm using my phone, and it's a Galaxy S9 Plus. I I wanted to use my good camera because I could have set it further, and I could have got that depth of field. For y'all that do photography, I've got I was going to run my 30. I got a 35 lens that I thought would probably be a good one for this, but I contacted Canon about a month or so back on that, and they said that they gave me a few options or how to fix it, and it didn't fix it. So my next option is send it in. I think they estimated 300 to 350 bucks to fix that camera. That's a lot of money. And speaking of fixing things, I wanted to mention something else. If most of y'all already know, but a lot of people set money aside for taxes at the end of the year. But I highly suggest maybe putting a little bit of money to the side to fix your car. Because today I was heading to work. I just turned on the apps and I was fixing to get busy. And all of a sudden, my car started kind of lunging forward like the transmission or something was going bad. And I couldn't figure it out. And then I looked down at my temperature gauge and it was up almost straight up on hot. And I guess it's a safety feature to keep from burning your motor up or blowing a head gasket. I wound up putting it in neutral. And luckily, I was on a hill and I could coast down to I forgot what it was, but I could coast down the hill and I got off the highway. And that was the end of my work day. So, but there's where I bought the car, they're going to take care of me. They're good about that. But if that wasn't the case and you had to fix the car yourself, it's good to have a little bit of money put back for, maybe you blow a tire. And unless you have fairly new tires, it's always good to replace tires 2 at a time unless you have all-wheel drive. If you have an all-wheel drive, they recommend replacing all four at the same time. When you got one tire that goes bad, that bites. On my Yukon that I had, it was all-wheel drive, and I had one tire that went bad. And everybody said, "Oh, you got to replace all four of them." I did, and that was expensive, putting those all-terrain tires on there. But anyway, set some money aside for it. No, it wasn't a thermostat. It was a heater core or heater hose coming between the engine and the block. And all you got the two pipes that come together, and it has a joint between them, a little joiner. I don't know what you call it. But anyway, that blew apart. So it's an easy fix, and I think the part is only like $20. So I mean, it's not a major deal, but using a car as your tool, your source of income, it can be major. So have a backup plan. You know, I had a backup plan, but my Yukon is no longer in my possession, so to speak. So it is what it is. You know, I did see a little scooter though. One of them, $1,800. Them things will run 70 miles an hour, is what I was told. Hit that thumbs up. Yeah, go. Nothing like it's Johnny. Yeah, hit the thumbs up if y'all are enjoying it. We got 31 people. I'm really thank y'all for showing up and coming around. One thing about Spark is don't look at the other offers in checkout process. Offers if in checkout. No. What kind of car do I drive? It's a 2011 Infiniti G37X. I love that car. There's no way I could afford that car if it was newer, but it's a 2011. And if I ever get rich, I don't want no Ferrari or nothing. I think I want an Infiniti. I really like those cars. I've never had a Nissan, and Nissan is who makes Infiniti. I like Nissan. They seem to be good cars. I had a Toyota Camry one time. Mechanically, they're great cars, but the newer ones, like from 2015, some of the clips they use to put your bumper covers on and things like that are really pretty cheap. And I hit a possum, I think it was, and it knocked the front bumper cover off. I'm not real happy with Toyotas. Supposedly they're the number one reselling car, or they used to be. But I like Nissan. Got 900 more in debt last week, 400 tires and a ball joint replacement. My daughter they just replaced the ball joints in their, I think it's a 2000, I don't remember. It's a Dodge Charger. And they went to get the front end alignment, and the bolt broke off that you adjust the toe in. So she says it's one thing after other. I said, sweetie, that's life. You just have to roll with the punches, take it with a smile, and keep it going. Love the life. Yeah, but definitely put some money back on the cars. You never know what's happening. I mean, you either put the money back today, or if your car goes down, you're going to spend $50 to $80 a day on a rental car, if you can do it. And you can still make money using it. People use those rental cars all the time for this stuff, but I want my money in my pocket as much as I can. The way gas is now, you already got to take that out. So Honda, actually, yeah, I've never had a Honda, not a Honda car, a Honda motorcycle. Honda motor is a good motor, but what was it? The Honda Accord. I think it's Accord that I looked at. Those are nice looking cars. My dad was a bit of a horse trader, is what we always called him. That swapped stuff and traded stuff, this and that and the other. And I guess it's in my blood. So as much as I like my car, I always look at other cars. Much as I like my laptop, I look at other laptops. It doesn't hurt to look and dream. You got to have dreams, right? Oh, so, we lost two. I guess this will stay on the channel. Or I'll figure it out when we get through, but I guess it'll be the Wednesday's video. And like I said, I really appreciate y'all showing up. And if y'all liked it, let me know, because this was just kind of a trial run to see if anybody was interested, and we can all talk about stuff. And I bought a brand new Honda Civic 2001. I put 350,000 miles on it before I sold it. It still ran great. That's some. You got your money's worth out of that one. That is for sure. How much longer is this podcast? Actually, I put 45 minutes to an hour, and it's 8:59. So about 2 more minutes, 3 more maybe, unless something happens. Oh, thanks, Mr. Henry. We got the same last name, by the way. Oh, in case y'all didn't know, my name is Brandon. I mean, Dash and Grandpa, but it's Brandon. And I just gave away my last name. I don't care. I'm not that interesting of a person to look up. So, anyway, like I said, I appreciate y'all coming by. And if y'all enjoyed this, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know. And if you have any questions, maybe we can make this every Wednesday night thing. If y'all would like that. So I'm kind of enjoying doing it. And Steve over at Rideshare Rodeo, he invited me to do his live, and that's the first time I've ever been on a live. I've called in on Pedro's, but doing it on video is different than talking on a phone. But Steve kind of encouraged me, and I don't know, he kind of made me feel like, okay, maybe I can do this. So, and apparently I can. I can ramble a long time, can I? An hour and not say much of nothing. Thanks for being, thank y'all for being here. I love y'all all. And y'all have a great rest of your night. Keep smiling, dashing, dancing, prancing, and doing whatever it is you want to do. Y'all just keep doing something, because you're going to get old and gray if you don't. Enjoy life. Enjoy the rest of your night. Y'all give your loved ones a hug and make them appreciated. And I will see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.